Men know something is wrong when home starts feeling lonelier than being alone. Not because anyone is screaming, not because anyone cheated, but because he walks through the door, looks around the life he helped build, and feels like a stranger. He still lives there, he still pays bills, he still fixes what breaks, he still says, "I love you." But something has changed. He is no longer experienced as a man, he is experienced as a function, a provider, a problem solver, a roommate, a co-parent, a utility, useful but not wanted, present but not felt, needed but not chosen. That is the silent divorce nobody talks about, not the legal ending, the invisible one, the one that happens when a man slowly stops feeling like a partner and starts feeling like a role. Because many relationships do not die when someone leaves. They die when one person becomes emotionally invisible long before anyone packs a bag. At first, it does not look serious. That is why men miss it. The relationship still functions. Bills are paid, routines continue, work happens, kids happen, but the connection starts thinning out. The kiss becomes automatic. The conversations become updates. What time are you coming home? Did you pay that bill? Can you handle that? Nothing is technically wrong, but nothing feels alive either. And a man tells himself, this is just life. People get busy, love matures, passion changes, and some of that is true. But there is a difference between love becoming mature and love becoming mechanical. Mature love still sees you. Mechanical love only uses you. Men can survive routine. He can survive responsibility. What starts killing him is when responsibility becomes the only reason he is noticed. He is noticed when something needs paying. He is noticed when something needs fixing. He is noticed when someone needs him to be strong. But when he is quiet, no one asks. When he is tired, no one studies his face. When he is distant, no one reaches for him. That is when he starts asking questions. He does not say out loud, "Why do I feel more peaceful in my car than in my own living room? Why do I stay at work 10 extra minutes before going home? Why do I scroll in the driveway before walking inside? Why do I miss someone who is still in the same house?" This is where people misunderstand men. A man does not always withdraw because he is cold. Sometimes he withdraws because every attempt to reconnect made him feel smaller. He tried to say something, and it became an argument. He tried to explain the distance, and it became his fault. He tried to ask for affection, and it felt humiliating. He tried to bring back closeness, and it felt like begging. So eventually, he adapts, stops asking, stops reaching, stops planning moments, stops telling her what is happening inside him, stops expecting warmth, not because he wants the relationship to die, but because hope has started to cost too much. That is how the silent divorce grows. Not through one decision, but through emotional rationing. He learns which topics are not worth bringing up. He learns which needs make him look weak. He learns which conversations go nowhere. He learns which parts of himself are no longer welcome. So he starts living smaller inside the relationship, less honest, less expressive, and less hopeful. And because he becomes quieter, the relationship may seem more peaceful. But that peace is fake. It's managed decline. It's what happens when a man stops fighting for connection because he no longer believes connection is available. Then one day, something strange happens. He realizes he is not angry anymore. That should feel like progress, but it's not, because anger still means part of him believes something can be fixed. Detachment means he has started accepting the loss. He becomes polite, functional, easy to live with, but internally he has moved out. That is the silent divorce. The body stays after the heart has already started leaving. And by the time the real breakup happens, people act surprised. They say, he changed, he became distant. He stopped trying, but usually he stopped trying long after he started disappearing, after feeling tolerated instead of wanted, after feeling like a paycheck instead of a partner, after affection became rare, after home became the place where he felt most alone. And this is where men need the lesson. The answer is not to explode, not to become cruel, not to silently punish her, and not to disappear and call it strength. The answer is to name the truth before your heart goes numb. You have to say it while you still care, calmly, clearly, without begging, without threatening. You have to say, I feel like we are becoming roommates. I feel needed but not wanted. I feel like our relationship has become logistics. I don't want to live beside someone and feel alone. That conversation matters, but the response matters more. Does she try to understand? Does she make room for the bond again? Or does she dismiss it, minimize it, and wait for him to go quiet again? That answer tells you what you're living inside. Because one man cannot revive a bond that two people abandoned create warmth alone or carry connection forever and still call it love. So pay attention when home starts feeling emotionally empty. Pay attention when silence is not peace but resignation, or when you stop bringing things up because hope feels humiliating. That is where the real divorce begins, not in court, not with paperwork, and not when someone finally leaves. It begins when a man stops feeling like a man in his own relationship and becomes only what he provides. Many men are not afraid of divorce. They are afraid of becoming invisible before it. They are afraid of giving years to a relationship where they are useful, but not wanted, needed, but not chosen, present, but no longer loved in a way they can feel. Because the cruelest ending is not always when someone walks away. Sometimes it is staying long after the relationship has already turned you into a role.